Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a seriously wild legal saga. We're going to look at how a totally everyday neighborhood dispute, I'm talking over things like weeds and window blinds, somehow escalated into a massive, multi-year legal battle. If you live in an HOA, or honestly, if you're just kind of fascinated by how local neighborhood rules clash with state law, you're definitely going to want to stick around for the crazy paper trail we're unpacking today. Let's get right into it. So picture this. You open your mail one afternoon and boom, you find out your homeowners association has won a formal court judgment against you. And we are not talking about a couple $100 here. The court is demanding you pay over $10,000 just in attorney fees. That doesn't even include the actual fines for your property violations. Wild, right? Well, this isn't some hypothetical worst-case scenario. This is exactly the crushing reality one actual homeowner faced after a huge standoff with her neighborhood board. And it brings up this huge question that plagues homeowners everywhere, right? You hear it whispered at community meetings or argued over backyard fences. Can your HOA actually enforce arbitrary daily fines that just snowball into total financial ruin? Like, does a community board really have the absolute legal authority to levy penalties day after day, turning a super minor maintenance issue into an absolute mountain of debt? Well, to find out, we need to take a hard look at how the courts actually interpret the limits of an HOA's power. All right, so let's look at the 2015 case of Rock III Homeowners Association versus Lynne A. Fisher. This whole legal nightmare started over the most relatable everyday community violations you could imagine. We're talking weeds getting a bit out of control, a backyard door that wouldn't latch, and a sunscreen left on a front window. Inside the house, some items were blocking these dilapidated blinds from closing properly. Just your typical suburban maintenance headaches, right? But in this neighborhood, they triggered a relentless enforcement machine. So the HOA starts hitting her with $25 daily fines way back in January 2014, and by late 2015, they actually filed a formal lawsuit. This brings us to an evidentiary hearing in April 2016 at the Maricopa County Superior Court. The HOA came in ready for battle. They brought a witness, they had photos of the property, and they hauled in a massive stack of warning letters they'd sent to the homeowner. And the homeowner? Well, she didn't even show up. Only her lawyer did, and they basically waived their right to present any defense testimony. So yeah, at this point, things are looking incredibly grim for the defense. Unsurprisingly, the trial court's ruling delivered an absolute knockout blow, siding almost entirely with the HOA. The judge issued an injunction ordering Fisher to clean up her property, which, makes sense, but the real shock was the financial hit. The court slapped her with $3,850 in monetary penalties, right on top of a staggering $10,839 in legal fees and court costs. The HOA proved its case, and this homeowner was suddenly on the hook for a pretty overwhelming chunk of change. But refusing to just accept this crippling financial blow, Fisher decided to appeal the decision to a higher court. Now, here's a little quirk about the legal system that a lot of people don't realize. Simply filing an appeal doesn't magically stop the winning party from collecting their money right then and there. If Fisher wanted to pause the collection of that judgment during this super lengthy appeals process, she was ordered to post a massive supersedeas bond of over $15,000. She literally had to lock up that money with the court just for the right to keep fighting. So let's fast forward to the appellate level, because this is where a total reversal of fortunes starts brewing. We're looking at a super sharp contrast between how these two different courts viewed the exact same evidence. The original Superior Court, they were perfectly happy with the HOA's verbal witness testimony to justify those daily fines. But the Arizona Court of Appeals, they took a much stricter, way more technical look at the rules of evidence and what is actually legally required to prove a financial penalty is valid. And in October 2017, the appellate court drops a massive plot twist. They reviewed the case and issued a decision that affirmed in part and reversed in part. Now, what exactly does that mean for our homeowner? Well, they upheld the injunction requiring the property cleanup, so Fisher still had to fix those blinds and pull those weeds, fair enough. But incredibly, they completely wiped out the $3,850 in fines and the nearly $11,000 in attorney fees. Basically, the homeowner won the financial war. So, how did that happen? The crucial takeaway here is that the HOA's entire massive financial victory evaporated over one single tiny oversight at the original trial. They forgot to bring one absolutely vital piece of paper into evidence, their official written schedule of fines. See, at the trial, the HOA just had a witness sit there and testify that the fine was $25 a day, and the trial judge just accepted that. But the appellate court stepped in and said, hold on a second, where is the actual document? And this whole mess brilliantly illustrates a foundational legal concept known as the best evidence rule.
Basically, this is a rule requiring that the original document itself has to be produced whenever its terms are being disputed in court. And why is that? Because human memory is incredibly fallible. A witness just getting on the stand and saying, hey, I remember our policy is $25 a day, well, that's just not going to cut it when the actual terms of a legal contract, like an HOA's covenants, conditions, and restrictions, are on the line. The law strictly requires the printed rules to prove the exact terms. No exceptions.
Relying on previous case law, the appellate judge was incredibly clear on this standard, famously declaring that ad hoc fines are per se unreasonable. In plain English, this means unless an HOA can explicitly prove they formally published a specific written fee schedule ahead of time, any monetary penalties they try to just invent, guess at, or enforce verbally are strictly unreasonable under Arizona law. You simply can't just make up a penalty on the spot. It has to be on the books, and you have to prove it's on the books in a court of law.
When you look at the timeline, it is just exhausting. The HOA started slapping her with these fines back in January 2014. They filed a lawsuit nearly 2 years later, late 2015. The trial court ordered the penalties in April 2016, but it wasn't until October 2017 that the appellate court finally threw out the financial damages. That is almost 4 full years of escalating tension, mounting stress, and intense legal battles, all for the homeowner to finally defeat these totally undocumented daily penalties.
This entire saga serves as a really powerful reminder. While community boards definitely have authority, that power has extremely strict documentary limits under the law. They absolutely cannot operate purely on verbal assumptions when they're levying massive financial penalties against you. Which leaves us with one highly important, maybe slightly uncomfortable question to end on today. Do you actually know what is legally written in your own neighborhood's rulebook? Because as we just saw, having the exact paperwork could literally be the difference between getting a warning to tidy your yard and getting hit with a $10,000 legal bill. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.